Great. Hello, everyone. As you can see, we have a guest tonight. I am Stephanie Schmidt, owner of the Essential Life LLC, and I represent doTERRA Essential Oils. This is my mom, Cassie. She's been on some of our calls, and she's here in person because I don't know if you can tell, but usually this is not what our house looks like. We were in a hotel room, and we wanted to still do our webinar and share oils for traveling because we're in a hotel. We've traveled, and she has traveled the furthest, coming all the way from Oregon to Wisconsin, and then we drove over to the Dells. So how appropriate is that, talking about oils for travel and some great tips we'll have in a recipe for you guys as well. So first, I'm going to start with our PowerPoint. So I'm going to share my screen here. And so hopefully you guys can see that. So you should be able to see it. But again, it's back to our Traveling with Oils logo or banner posting that we had for the event page. And now we're going to go into some traveling tips with oils. So the first thing here to note is when you're traveling with oils in a car and flying. So we've got some things to note since we traveled in a car and we have been flying. So there might be some more things we'll mention besides what we have listed here, but these are just some things for you to keep in mind. So for a car, the best thing to do is to keep your oils with you. I carry no matter what, even when I'm traveling to a grocery store or traveling to work, I have a keychain. My mom has hers with her. So we're going to be looking in hers because it's quite large. It's packed, and I like what she did. She has a great tip for you guys if you're wanting to pack more oils in. All right, so this is a nice little keychain you can get in doTERRA's back office, and I can show you guys a little bit later if you guys are interested in that, if we get anyone to hop on tonight. But if you are interested in watching the recording, let me know, and I would be happy to show you and walk you through one-on-one how to order this through online. And they have this in purple, and Wally has his own. It's black. You want to throw it, Wally? He's over here doing some work of his own. So this is Wally's.
Hello.
And so keeping a small keychain that has the 5/8 gram vials, which are actually larger than what my mom has. My mom has the smaller sized bottles, okay? And what she did, here's the tip for you guys, if you want to show them with it open, Mom. She's put actually two, I'm going to try and pull. She's done two in here. She's done one in the top and one in the bottom. So she did the smaller vials, not the ones that originally comes with when you buy this little kit. You can get these little travel cases as well through oiltools.com. You can get them through Aroma Tools. You could get it through Oil Life. There are a lot of different things. I'm sure Amazon has something too, but you can get ones that are different designs. These are specifically say doTERRA on them if you're wanting that. But she's done two instead of the ones that are normally in there. I use it as a keychain as well. I have mine of the normal. Oh, okay. So we'll show you the size difference here. So here's what it normally comes in, and here is the other side. So you can tell it's a little bit smaller when I hold them up next to each other with the lids. Just don't want to drop them. So you could keep those in there, or you could kind of do some of the normal ones and then do some of your smaller, which would be our sample size type vials, and you could put those in there and get two. I thought that was a great idea, so thanks for sharing that, Mom. You're welcome. So that's just something to keep on you, I would say, in your purse at all times, or if you are a gentleman, you could keep it on you as a keychain or in your backpack or whatever bag you might carry if you carry a bag. And then I also have a carrying case when I travel in my backpack if I'm carrying my larger bottles like these, and not for flying, of course, because we'll get to that in a little bit. But this is something I got in doTERRA. Yes, you could check this when you fly. We'll get to that. But I can't do this in my normal backpack for carry-on.
But I did this.
Yes, that you can. So in the car, it's nice to have something small like that. If you're feeling sleepy, what would be your go-to oil?
Sleepy?
Yes. If you're feeling sleepy and you're driving.
Peppermint.
Peppermint, yeah. Peppermint. So peppermint essential oil we'll talk a little bit more about. We're just going to go through some of these oils here. You guys can see it. So I brought my big one. And if you don't have a diffuser in the car, you could put peppermint on a cotton ball. You could put it on your clothes. You can put it on the back of your neck. If you take a little rest break, put it in your hands and just breathe, okay? Another one is peppermint with the wild orange, because it's called our focus blend. So the peppermint's going to help wake you up. The wild orange is going to help you focus, keep driving, and hopefully help you stay less distracted. And they smell great, so you're going to smell good, right? Yeah. All right. So if you get occasional motion sickness in the car, even this goes with flying, or if you're on a boat, anything with traveling, I would say you want to have these no matter what. These are just a couple that I have here. Digestin, which is our blend. I don't actually think I have it on me. That's really bad. Probably because I use peppermint instead a lot of times, but we have Digestin capsules. I don't think you have Digestin in there. So it's a blend. It's our digestive support. It is one I definitely recommend for traveling, especially with eating out.
If you like the licorice.
Yes, it's got the licorice flavor. But you can also rub it on your abdomen and not taste it.
Yeah.
So you could use it that way. And we also have capsules that are digestin, so you don't really taste the oil that way if you don't like the licorice flavor. Like I said, I like peppermint. I usually always have peppermint, and I can rub that on my abdomen. I can use it again for the feeling sleepy. I can use it for the motion sickness. I can use it for helping support my body through processing foods I'm not familiar with. But I use the Terrazyme enzyme complex part of the digestin line. So I do use a product that we have. And if you're wanting to learn more, let me know. But that is definitely something. You want to have something to support your stomach, your gut, your intestines. Because what happens if you're eating out? How do you feel sometimes?
Sick, nauseous,
Yeah.
running to the bathroom.
Yeah. So you're wanting something to help support you and support processing those foods. All right, another couple oils that you may not, oh, I spelled something wrong here. So ginger and grapefruit, again, anything, we know ginger for being good for your stomach. It's a good one for also motion sickness. Just putting it on your wrist and smelling it, putting it again, a cotton ball, any of these, putting it in some water. If you have a hydro flask like my mom does, which is metal, it's stainless steel. Otherwise, you could do glass, and you could stick it in there with your water, and that'll help. I like grapefruit. That's what I have been using lately for motion sickness or feeling nauseous, any of those sort of things. So those are great. And then they're refreshing when you put peppermint or grapefruit in your water when you're traveling. Very refreshing. All right, so flying. As we said, you can use, oils can go in your carry-on. No, the x-ray machines, you can put them in your carry-on or your checked luggage. The x-ray machines are not going to bother or alter the oils in any way, which was something doTERRA did a lot of testing on and ran things through several times. There's an article on their website that you can search for and put, doTERRA or oils and x-ray machines, and it should come up, the article. So that is something to note. Now with your carry-on, you need to make sure, this one, did you put it in a bag? Or was it just like that first? Okay.
And I just laid it out so they could see it.
Okay. So she didn't put it in a bag. If you're carrying these guys, though, your regular size bottles, your 5 mLs, your 15 mLs, they are under the 3 ounces. However, you need to remember that whatever you can fit of those oils in a 1 quart size bag per person, that's what you can take. But in your carry-on, you can take as many or however many you want.
If you want to check it.
Or sorry, you're checked. Yes. That's why I like this guy, because it's a harder case. It's still soft, but it'll protect things a little bit better. Hi, Linda. All right. So We are recording, Linda, so you can always go back and see what you've missed. So with carry-ons, we like to also keep in mind, like I said, I like to just do this guy and then this in my checked bag. A lot of times if there's certain oils like my frankincense and I have the full bottle, I will not put it in my checked bag, my more expensive oils. I will do the Ziploc version and put those in my carry-on. All right. Now, when using oils on the plane, I didn't make this a bullet point, but I want you to remember it. Well, this is kind of controversy. So on doTERRA's website, they'll say, remember not to open your bottles while you're on the plane. When we're going to convention, everyone that's a doTERRA person on a plane is opening their bottles because you smell it everywhere. But the best thing to do is to put your oils, like, for example, On Guard or peppermint on before you get on the plane, because yes, you're going to smell like it, but if you need to reapply, do it in the bathroom or just use a little bit, put in your mouth or your water. Don't be cautious of how much you're using, because some people may be very sensitive and you don't want to have them have a bad reaction. You don't want to have them, we don't know, because some people may be allergic to certain things and you don't know that with the person sitting next to you, behind you, in front of you. So you just be cautious when you do use stuff. We want you to use it. Just be aware of those around you, because yes, it is a great opportunity to share with people. Mom has a great story of something she was trying to share. The lady didn't take it.
No, she was coughing. She's sitting next to me in the plane, and she's coughing multiple times. So I pulled out my breathe drops, and I said, would you like one of these? I showed her the bag. I showed her the thing. I'm good. She said, no, thank you. And then she continued to cough, and I'm like, okay.
So you pull out your On Guard belets and put those in your mouth and protect yourself. Yeah. But some people, yes, offer to them if they're interested. That's always fine to do. And if you are using and you're on longer flights, just do one drop. Start with that if that's what you have to do. But like I said, we have belets. The other travel tip I have is the Touch series are diluted, so they're going to be strong, but not as strong. Plus, you don't have to have a carrier oil. So even if you are using it and you end up sharing with someone, then you don't have to worry about a reaction right away, especially if it's a hot oil. So you could use your roll-on Touch versions, and these are just great to just roll on, which I'm going to do right now. There you go. See? Just roll it on, and it feels nice. All right. So I think that was all my little tips for you guys. Oh, another reminder is you could make your own little wipes and put your oils in those, and then you're ready to go, or your own little tiny spray bottles. Now doTERRA carries those spray bottles in the back office, or we have the On Guard spray. Yes, it smells at first pretty strong.
I use that on the plane.
Yep, that you can use on the plane. I know people spray down the plane with it before they get on their seat. They just spray their spot and then sit down. So thankfully we have that, which is really nice to travel with. And I forgot mine. All right, that's good. So oils for travel, we've mentioned a few, but we're going to mention a few more. We're going to look a little more in depth, and we're going to also look at what my mom has in her thing, because she's got a few extras and she'll tell us why. So first one I recommend, anywhere you go that's new, if you don't sleep well in a place, raise your hand. You have your hand button. I don't know if you have your hand button. Yep. Linda's got her hand button there. So definitely sleep is key and crucial. And I don't normally sleep well. I mean, we're in a hotel. We actually had a little diffuser going with some Serenity going. And we put some balance in there because it's great for the stress and anxiety. If you know someone who's really stressed out when they travel, I've known people on planes that freak out on planes. I pull out my Serenity Balance and put it on, and I don't care if they smell it, because hopefully they're just going to calm down. And usually they have. So you have to try that on the way back home if you run into anyone that's panicking on the flight. So yes, any stressful moments, anything like that, balance is great for, but helping you relax and sleep, Serenities can be a good one. Did you use balance in the airport?
Mm-hmm.
They had a very stressful flight. So I was curious if she was using her balance. And then On Guard, we talked about being on a plane or even in a car with multiple people, you are going to have germs, germ infestation. So On Guard is one of our go-to oils. And we also have the spray that we mentioned, a lot of other On Guard products. And if you want to learn more, you can go to our website. You can go to your own website, look through the different On Guard products. There's a lot there. But our On Guard oil here is a go-to. And now that we have that little spray, that's wonderful too. But I always have my On Guard. All right, the other ones you might need, if you're sitting a lot, you want some deep blue rub, and you're gonna want your toothpaste when you're traveling, and you're gonna want your shampoo and conditioner. You gotta stay clean and smelling pretty besides just the oils. So, tip for carrying on any of those, the deep blue rub, the shampoo, and conditioner, and toothpaste, try using the samples. The samples are awesome because they are perfect travel size. I did not bring that because we were driving, but we have the sample size in the back when you go to order anything. Add it to your cart. If you know you're traveling this summer, add that in. Those are really nice because it saves you some room if you're trying to travel light. And I'll show you some pictures in a little bit of kind of a blog that doTERRA wrote for guys traveling. It's got some little samples in there.
I did the On Guard toothpaste in Washington, D.C.
See? Yeah, they're handy. Yeah. And the deeply rubbed samples are really nice too, because then you don't have to have this huge tube. Do remember to put them all in bags just in case, because there is kind of a liquid. So if for some reason you're up flying and they expand and explode, you don't want it all over your bags. Just a tip from someone who's had that happen. All right. Now is the time for my mom to show us what she's got in her keychain. So I'm going to bring us back from sharing. All right. Hopefully you guys can see. All right.
It says Linda.
I know. It's focused on her right now.
That's Linda. I like Linda.
All right. So go ahead and show.
Well,
what do you have first?
This is peppermint.
Okay.
Which we already discussed.
We've talked about peppermint. We'll come back to that in a little bit.
Yeah. I use this. When I travel, I still do my poof because of all the stuff I'm exposed to. So I do that in the morning. Mm-hmm. So peppermint's part of my poof.
So what's poof?
Poof is the peppermint, On Guard, and oregano, and frankincense.
So
4, 3, 2, 1 drops.
On Guard, oregano, and frankincense. You can see I'm traveling with mine too.
Yeah.
So 4 peppermint, 3 On Guard, 2 oregano, and 1 frankincense. How do you take that?
I put it in a little bit of oil, or water, sorry, not oil, water, and then I drop my drops in, and then I add a little bit more water to it, and that stirs it better than anything I can stir. Stirring it doesn't really work.
Would you say you do about 1 ounce of water or less? Yeah. Okay. I put mine on honey if you travel with honey or have honey, but water's, yes, going to be easier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. All right, what else do you have in there?
Well, then I have my On Guard, which
was for protecting.
Yeah, and I have also used it when I didn't have my spray right handy. I've used it just to put on my hands to keep it clean. Then I have the frankincense.
And what is the frankincense for? Just the poof?
I use it for the poof, but no, I also have this on my skin in the sun. I have these like spots that pop up when they get hot and they get sun on them. Mm. So I put them on and it stops it from itching.
Okay.
I have lemongrass, which I also add to the poof. It helps a lot.
So that's really good for congestion, the lemongrass, when you add it in. Mm-hmm. And then it helps break up some of the mucus as well. And it's a good immune support. So yeah, that's why we add it. And I do 3 drops. Do you do 3? Yeah. Okay, 3 drops if you want to add lemongrass in.
I also have copaiba, which...
And lemongrass is good with bugs.
Yes, works for bugs too. Mm-hmm. So I add the copaiba too. I add 2 drops of copaiba.
Okay. It's a good to add with anything in combination. It just helps enhance the effects. And then Wally has been using, I have my copaiba here somewhere. So this is what it looks like. Hopefully you guys can see it. I use that at night lately for my back and my low back because my hips and my low back has been hurting, especially with driving. Deep Blue does help, but I found copaiba really gets in there and helps pretty quickly. So that's a good one.
And then my oregano also for my poof.
Good.
So
it's a good immune support one. So if you don't have On Guard, definitely get some oregano and use that.
I have my Serenity because I took my little diffuser when I went to DC and I diffused my Serenity and I diffused my Breathe at the same time.
Okay.
So I put the 2 together.
Yes, this is a good one, especially if you're going to different altitudes. The Breathe drops are great because then you don't have to have the oil on you. But when you want to put it in diffuser to help open those airways, yeah, it's very good.
So I didn't bring wild orange, but I like lemon in my water sometimes, so I brought lemon. It's a good, helps clean you out too. So
cleansing. So it's good for the digestive going along with the peppermint.
It's also if you need something to clean something off, like you get, what was it? It was not popsicle. What do they call them? Have ice in them? You put stuff in the top? Snow cones.
Snow cones.
Okay. Had a friend we were at a game and she got snow cones spilled on her. Actually, Erin.
Okay.
And so I handed her the lemon and I told her to go to the bathroom and put the lemon and water on it, and it came off. She didn't have the red stain.
Awesome.
So
she got it right away. It's
yes.
Lemon is my Gugan.
Yeah, it works.
That's
awesome.
my Gugan.
Then I have the Melaleuca, which I use also with. I mix this usually with my frankincense, and it's good for my skin if I have problems with that and need it.
I was using the Touch for my face because I like to use it for my skin as well, but this way it's diluted and I don't have to.
I don't have to dilute it.
Yeah.
And there's my balance for when I need some calming, some balance in my life. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And then I have my Deep Blue and my Aroma Touch. I usually mix the 2 and I put them on my feet and my knees and legs. If you walk a lot, it helps a lot to do that. I do it every morning. So.
And then you've been using a new one, which I didn't think of for nighttime.
Oh yeah, I put this on the bottom of my feet when I try to sleep. It's cedarwood. And I got that idea from the 30-day challenge. That was one of the choices because lavender and I aren't best friends. So I tried the cedarwood and it helped. So I use that.
Yeah. So if you know a man that's needing some sleep support, petitgreen, cedarwood's a good woodsy one. So definitely. And then if you pair the cedarwood actually with the lemongrass, you've got a little bit of the support against bugs. So yeah. Yeah. Any questions for any of the oils that she's mentioned so far? I'll wait and share my screen again. But if you have any questions, feel free to pop those up. All right, hopefully you can see my screen. All right, so some On Guard was one we talked about. I want to go over and see if there's anything extra on here on the On Guard. So again, On Guard has wild orange, cloves, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary oils. And so those are great oils for supporting your body, your immune system. Eucalyptus is going to help with the airways as well. So those are some great goodies right there. And then you're going to have it's going to support the natural antioxidant defenses because you're going to have a lot of toxins and things you're going to be exposed to whenever you travel. So be sure to have something to help support you. And I recommend start using this a couple days before you start traveling to help start boosting your immune system and then continue even when you get back for at least a week if you're not already using it consistently, and use it during the trip. Again, supports healthy respiratory function because we've got the eucalyptus in there. And then it's it will cleanse the air. So it's going to take some of those toxins out of the air. This is something, if I go in a place that smells funny, I will diffuse this, especially even if it's got the like cleaning smells. I like to use my On Guard because I know it's going to help support my respiratory. It's going to get rid of some of those toxins from those cleaners that they use in hotels and different places. So that's a tip for you guys to diffuse, or even put it on the towels in your hotel room or your sheets when you go in, and that should help as well because it's going to naturally diffuse. Right.
Mrs. Nunn took that to India.
The On Guard? Smart. All right, so next one, let's see, is digestion. We talked about this. You're going to want something for your stomach. And the reason I want to mention this one was we talked about some of the oils for supporting your digestive tract and your metabolic processes. And this has ginger and peppermint, which we talked about earlier for that purpose. And then also we mentioned it for the nausea that you might have. But it's also got caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, and fennel, which are all great oils to help support your digestive tracts. Again, as my mom said, it's got some flavor of licorice in there and mint. So if you really don't like licorice and it stands out to you, black licorice especially, you may not like this as much internally, but it's good to rub on your abdomen, bottom of your feet. Again, it's going to help support your digestive tract there. It'll help reduce bloating and gas, and help with the occasional indigestion. So that's a great one. I know some people actually like to diffuse this one because they like the smell.
I like the smell.
Yeah.
I like the taste, but a lot of people don't.
So definitely use this. And it also, because it's got some of the other oils in there, sometimes it does help just be calm you down a little bit. And that's where some of the nausea, there's been reports that some of the nausea comes from just overstimulation, and some of this will actually help calm you down a little bit. All right, the next slide here we have is peppermint. So peppermint, again, we mentioned for digestive support, opening your airways. It's great for cooling you down in the heat. We didn't mention that. So if you're out and it's warm, put it on the back of your neck. It'll help kind of cool you down naturally. And then we mentioned for poof, taking it that way. It'll help wake you up and give you a little more energy, especially when you pair it with the wild orange, which we'll come to next. So it's going to help with those feeling fatigued and low on energy. And then it's great for relieving feelings of tension, but it's also good, at least topically, not feelings. Yes, feelings, but also when your legs are a little tight or fatigued, it is something you can add as well, because the menthol in there will help with that.
I like it for headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me if I had an aspirin, not an aspirin or something like that, and we were on a trip at DC, and I said, well, but I have peppermint.
Yeah.
And so I let him use it, and I said, just don't get it in your eyes. And guess what?
You got it in his eyes. That happens. That's where it's nice to have the fractionated coconut oil on hand, or something to rinse out the eye. The fractionated coconut oil would be easier. It doesn't burn as much, but definitely get some coconut oil. Don't just do water to rinse around the eye. Use a carrier oil. All right, we mentioned wild orange. Again, great for the water. It's going to help support your immune system. It's going to also purify and cleanse, so it's one you can diffuse, you can put in your water, clean up your water, especially when you're traveling. Lemon and wild orange, or any of the citrus, are going to cleanse the water and help with that as well, and help cleanse your body. And we mentioned pairing this with the peppermint for helping you focus and stay more alert when driving. And a tip for those, grab your roller balls, and you can add 20 drops of each. Fill the rest of the way with your coconut oil, and you have an easy, ready to go, especially if you're driving. This is a lot easier to reapply if you're by yourself, or your passenger. You can just easily roll it on the back of their neck, and they can smell it that way if they're driving. So that is a recipe for you. All right, we mentioned deep blue. We mentioned the deep blue rub. Again, because of all the oils in there, they're going to help calm and calm the nervous system, calm the muscles, help with the tension. And with sitting so much, you get really sore, get stiff. So this is a good go-to. And like my mom said, Aroma Touch is really good to add with it. And I like to add Copaiba with it too. All right, we talk about sleep and support for anxiety or stress. We mentioned Serenity. I didn't have a page for you, but I have Balance here. And it's got some frankincense in there. So if you don't have Balance and you do have your frankincense, that's also why I like to have it. It'll help with some of the anxious feelings. And again, we have some blue tansy, blue chamomile, we've got whole wood and spruce. Just really good grounding, as it is the grounding blend. So, all right. Now, I have a little recipe here for you guys, so give me a minute to write this down. It is a revitalizing spray. So sometimes you can make this little spray or you can take it with you somewhere. It has 8 drops of lavender, 10 drops of lemon, 8 drops of eucalyptus, 5 drops of peppermint, and 5 drops of rosemary. So these oils are going to be good for, like it says, revitalizing, but you've got some calming in there. You've got some supporting and cleansing and opening the airways and some relieving some tension. But the rosemary, it's got some also immunity support as well. If you can't do lavender, you could add your cedar wood instead. So that is a good one, or your petitgreen. All right, so you put those all into a 2-ounce glass spray bottle, and you add water to your desired dilution line, however much you want to. You could also, I like this tip, you could do this blend, oh, sorry guys, you could do this blend in a 10 ml roller and do coconut oil instead of the water. So you can do your drops and then put your coconut oil into your 10 ml, which is this guy. And you could use it as a revitalizing roller ball instead. So that was just a fun recipe I thought for you guys to have on hand, and something that you could use for getting back into the work week when you get back from vacation. So, all right, any questions? We're going to open it up to questions and any tips. Oh, I was going to show one more page. I need to pull it up here first. Share screen real fast. I don't see any questions yet, but feel free to add them. I was going to show you a picture. So here's a picture of the deep blue samples. You've got your lifelong vitality pack. I forgot to mention. We brought those. So be sure to get your vitamins, because those are going to help also support your body and immune system, everything, all your bodily functions, so that you can keep going too. All right. This is under doTERRA's blog. So in the search column over here, you type in Gaia's Guide to Travel, and here's some more great tips on packing your toiletry kit. So be sure to look for that for some more tips. All right, any questions, Linda?
Nope, not at this time.
Okay. Did I cover enough?
Yeah, I think so. Good information.
Good. New tips?
I just carry that On Guard spray bottle with me and use it liberally everywhere.
Yes. Yes. In your purse, everywhere.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. We can keep talking till it ends. But thanks for joining and watching. And be sure to look for our next videos. That will be our next webinars. And we have more videos that we're working on to come up too. So thank you again for joining, and happy oiling and safe travels.